Staying present. Staying present. So, what I'd like you to become aware of throughout the holidays, and it's a great tune in for any of you that get caught in anxiety, get caught in a triggering situation, get caught with stress, is to go back inside and take a nice big deep breath. I'd like you to do this with me for just a moment. And I'd like you to envision this. If you start to get really stressed and tense, I'd like you to envision as you breathe in, love coming through the back of your heart. And as you exhale, back out into humanity. Breathe in, love, exhale, love out into the community. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in love, breathe out compassion. Breathe in love, breathe out compassion. And do that for 3 or 4 times. And your energy is going to start to change. Because when we focus on the breath, we focus on the present. You know, a couple of days ago, I was out on my deck and I was just looking out to the sky and the flowers. It's a really beautiful day. It had just rained. It just rained here, and it just felt fresh and alive and inspirational in terms of what I was looking at that moment. And I thought about that in that moment, everything was right. And I thought, what makes this moment different than a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago? It's what I perceive to be an issue. It's what I perceive my dramas are in my life. But the sun shines every day. The moon comes out and we see it every day. There's this duality of life happening where if we're present to the moment, all is well. Life is good and everything is moving forward exactly as it should be. So what has happened in our society, in our world, is on one hand, technology has allowed us more freedoms to connect. But the challenge with that is that we're always living in what I didn't get done or what I need to get done. What I haven't got done or what I need to get done. So being present allows you to realize that in this moment, you're on this call. There is nothing wrong in your world. What you perceive to be wrong is happening either in the past or the future. So this holiday season, I invite you to be in the here and now. So if you find yourself stressed, if you find yourself anxious, ask yourself, is it related to the here and now? And if it isn't, come back to present time and say to yourself, all is well, life is good. Just like I did in that moment when everything became crystallized and vibrant and real and full of life and beauty. In that moment, nothing was wrong. So how we create happy and joyful moments is when we start to group those moments together. What keeps us anxious and stressed is when we keep those emotions one after another, after another, and after another. And so our brains will start to pattern stress, anxiety, fear, all those things that come up into our present day life. And don't think for one moment that there isn't enough to be stressed about. You don't have to go very far. So what is it going to take for you to be in this world but not of it? How are you going to be able to direct your emotions to be more present? So the way in which I do it is I ask myself, is this part of my past or is this part of my future? So something that came up for me this morning was I'm closing out the year with the exception of the 28th, and I'll tell you about that in just a moment. But what I was feeling was this angst of trying to close everything out before I close out for the year. And I thought, I've got this. What am I future tripping about? Show up, be in the present moment, breathe in love, exhale compassion. Life is good, all is well, and everything is happening in this moment as it should be. And I am no different than you. So catch up to yourself. If you need to give yourself a golden sun to come into present time, sometimes I've done that, where I bring in a golden sun of light. I'm coming into this present moment. All is well, life is good, and everything is moving forward exactly as it should be. It kind of just bathes me back into this moment. Use what works for you, but staying present is a practice. It's not something that you can just automatically do. So try to stay there longer and longer and longer and longer. And those moments will start to create a sense of calm. Those moments will allow you to listen to somebody else. Those moments will allow you to hear what somebody's actually saying without thinking about what you're going to say next. Yesterday I was at a birthday celebration, and one of the girls, I didn't realize I had just gotten out of a retreat, a winter solstice, not retreat, but workshop. And so I was pretty present, and I was pretty calm, and I was pretty reflective. And so luckily I had my reading screen up, because if I hadn't been, it would have been whoosh. So one of the girls at the celebration was just a wreck. And when I say wreck, meaning she had a lot of stuff coming up and a lot of traumatic things coming up that she could not really be able to put on that happy face. So I happened to be sitting next to her. Whoosh of energy. So how many of you get caught off guard with people? It could be as simple as a customer service person on the line. It could be your husband or your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your sister, your brother, your mom, your dad, whatever it is, or whomever it is, can get you off balance. So the more you can take on being more present and use that as a practice, when you get caught off guard with somebody's emotional space, particularly for empaths, you don't take that on. So luckily for me, it doesn't always happen, I just happened to be in that space. So I found myself just watching her on our movie screen. And for those of you who are just listening to this and not doing Mindful Mondays, what we do is we put people on our movie screen about 2 feet out so that we can watch and become the observer of our lives. So I didn't have to become her energy and start carrying that around with me. I could be present with her, support her, but not become the energy. So this holiday, you are going to become aware. You're going to be more present. You're going to put people on your movie screen that you allow yourself to be the observer. You're going to breathe in love and exhale compassion. Back through your heart, out through the front of your heart, back out into the communities, into maybe even somebody you're talking to. It's one of the biggest skill sets that we can practice. The practice of being present. I invite all of you to breathe in this present moment